days, spirited 2 days. I think them getting out of here a little bit for the open date has been really positive for them. It's been really good for them, with the heartbreak that goes along with losing to Cincinnati the way we did and losing to Connecticut the way we did. I think it was good to get them out of here a little bit. They've come back with like a new life, revived. We had a great Sunday night, and I really like the way we've come after it and come out here and gotten after it on Tuesday and Wednesday. A couple of really spirited practices out here, and actually, I'm encouraged from what I see right now. I've said this from the beginning, really impressed with this team with their lunch pail type of approach where they come out here each and every day, but really impressed with the way they've handled this week. They've done a nice job.
In terms of leadership, how has that been in terms of helping a team weather things like this, in terms of the seniors and the leaders on this team?
And not just, it's critical. It's critical because if your upperclassmen and your leaders come out here and they're moping around and going through the motions, then it's going to be hard for a lot of the other guys. But one of the things that we did, not just with the seniors that we always talk about, with this senior class being so small, we've developed a leadership committee that has a lot of juniors on it, has a lot of sophomores on it, and pretty much every position is represented. And those guys like B.J. Daniels and Corey Grissom and Ryan Giddens, and those guys have really done those guys on that leadership committee have really done a nice job, and we felt like it was more important this year to do that than any other year because our senior class was so small. And so we really felt like that was something that was going to be important. And it's really paying dividends for a week like this when you see a lot of those underclassmen really starting to take a leadership role with this team.
Skip, I remember going into the Cincinnati game, I caught a bit of your radio show, and you had mentioned wanting to get Lindsey a little bit more involved in the offense. I know that wasn't the case against Cincinnati. I think he only had one touch.
Right.
But just talk about maybe trying to work him in a little bit more too.
Well, Lindsey being an upperclassman and with the speed that he has, and one of the things that we've been talking about, especially in the Connecticut game, is the lack of big plays. And a lot of times that's what happens with speed. Speed has the ability to turn a 8-yard gain and turn the corner and get down the field and create a big play. And so when you look at the Cincinnati game, what we were doing offensively, we were moving the ball and having some success and creating some big plays, but so we didn't really get to it. But it's something that's going to be critical this week. And when you look at this Rutgers team, as strong as they are on defense and what they do, they play a lot of man coverage. And they do a lot of things that they're really good at. That's why they're as effective as they are, and there's so many 3-and-outs on defense that it's very hard to drive the field. So in order to score points, you're going to have to create some big plays, and that's why a team like West Virginia that scored the most on them also had the most big plays. So it's going to be really important for us. And Lindsey's had a great attitude, and he's been working extremely hard. Really proud of the way he's handled it, because as a junior, I'm sure coming into this year, he wanted the ball much more than he's gotten it to this point. But I think he's filling his role in Todd Fitch's putting some things together where we have a chance to utilize him a little bit more.
Skip, going back in past years, Rutgers and Schiano have probably had more trick plays against USF than just about anybody. Fake field goals, fake punts, a lot of wildcat. Is that something you'll be guarding against even more than usual this week?
Yeah, it is. And this is, when you look at Coach Schiano, he's always, he makes you defend everything. That's what he's always done. And he's going to run fake field goals and fake punts and trick plays and all that. It's very similar to what Todd Graham at Pitt, does an awful lot of that. I know everybody in this league doesn't have as much familiarity with him at this point,
right,
but that's kind of how he was at Tulsa. He was that way. And so, yeah, you've got to guard against it. You got to make sure that everything you do is you got to make sure that you cross the T's and dot the I's, and you can't. A field goal or a PAT is not just a play off. You've got to make sure you stay focused on your man and who you have in coverage, and because they will test you on some of that. If you're sleeping, that's when it'll come up. So it's something that we've talked about. It's something you got to guard against, but it's something you have to defend. I won't say guard against. It's something you have to defend.
Sure.